Hello everybody. I'm going to call this video Fast Forward Through the Bible, and then there's 4 questions that I want to ask you as you watch. And then it'll jog your mind a little bit on why I believe what I believe and why I'm saying what I'm saying. Okay, so in the beginning of the Bible, there's Genesis and then it ends in Revelation. The Bible is composed of 66 books, and they were written documents. People wrote these things down as they saw what was happening, so that it would be discovered later on in time. So we have the book of Genesis, and then through the book of Genesis to the New Testament, we see there was Adam and Eve. They sinned. From sin, that cursed them to death, and every other human that exists or will ever exist. That's the reason we died, because Adam and Eve sinned against God and disobeyed Him. So we have that, and from that moment when they sinned and Satan deceived them, we see that God took people from Adam and Eve, from their lineage down the timeline. He used people to lead up to Jesus and the sacrifice of Jesus so that we could go to heaven. So we see from Adam and Eve, we go up to Noah. God flooded the earth, and then he created the rainbow in the sky as a covenant to us that He would never flood the earth again. And after Noah, they had more children, and the animals repopulated the earth. And then we had like Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and then like you can read the whole book of Genesis and you'll find out. But I don't want to go through it that much because the video is going to be long. But from Genesis, that's where sin and death happened from Adam and Eve, and then it cursed everybody else. And then God used people to make nations of people and to bring forth a solution to the death issue and the sin problem. The whole entire Bible is composed of a solution to the sin. So back then, for the forgiveness of sin, they needed to kill an innocent animal and shed the innocent blood of an animal, because it wasn't right to murder somebody back then, and it still isn't today or ever will be. But the proper way that God showed people in the Old Testament to make a sacrifice would be to kill an innocent animal and shed their blood on the altar for the forgiveness of their sins. So that's what they did. And fast forward from that, go up to the New Testament. We see that Jesus was born, and from Jesus was born of Mary, the Virgin, because the Holy Spirit conceived through Mary, Jesus. And later on, Mary wasn't a virgin no more. She had more children with Joseph, and she ended up getting demons in her, and only Nicodemus tried to cast him out, but then only God could do it. So Jesus cast the demons out of Mary. And there's more into the story, but that's a big reason. Like it's important to study your biblical facts, because people do certain things and take the Bible out of context when it's very dangerous to do that, and it could cost you your eternal destiny, So after Mary had Jesus grew up, and he started to teach people parables and certain things like truth, and he would preach to people. So Jesus, when he got old enough, he picked people like from the boats and from like Matthew the tax collector. He picked out disciples, and all he said was, "Come and follow me." And he performed miracles in front of them, and that's kind of what made them believe, like, we should follow this guy, So when they followed Jesus, Jesus started to teach them things and show them things, and he kept saying to them, "The Son of Man will be lifted up into the hands of sinners, and he shall die, and on the third day rise again." So that's the resurrection of Jesus. And what the disciples did, they continually doubted God and Jesus and who he was, but they also believed. So even if you believe in God, you could still doubt God. So if you ever feel like you're doubting God after you've been saved, just know that there's still hope for you, and you could pray for help with your unbelief, because we all gone through that. I can promise you every Christian has gone through that at least once. And so yeah, after the disciples, Jesus taught his disciples, there come a certain time where Jesus was handed over to a man, and there was Barabbas and Jesus, and they asked for Jesus, and they kept saying he was a sinful man, but they couldn't find a reason. They kept saying he was sinful, and he's claiming to be God. So for that reason, they started beating Jesus with whips, and they put him on a cross. So they made Jesus carry his cross all the way up to Calvary, and it's called Golgotha, I think, the mountain where Jesus was crucified, which represents death. Golgotha, I think it is. It represents skull. And yeah, so Jesus went up onto the cross, and then they nailed him to the cross, and then there was two other men, and then there was Jesus. So there's Jesus, and then there's the two thieves on the cross. One thief was denying Jesus and saying, "If you're God, take us off the cross." Well, there was another thief who said to this thief, well, I wouldn't call him the good thief, but this thief said to this thief, "We are in death right now, and you're still you're still denying God, even though we're at the moment of death. Where's your faith?" basically. And this man said to Jesus, he said, "Lord, remember me whenever you enter into your kingdom." And at that moment, Jesus looked at him and he said, "Surely today I say to you, you will be with me in paradise," which is heaven. So as soon as Jesus stopped breathing, Jesus and the man next to him, when they both stop breathing, they're both going to go straight up to heaven, because this man had faith in Jesus, but this man is going to go to hell because he denied Jesus, even though he saw what Jesus did, and his sin was before him. He sinned against God, so his punishment is forever in hell. And it makes sense, because God is infinite, and he doesn't take things lightly at all. It's not like you go to the judge and they give you 10 years in prison. This is like you stop breathing and your spirit goes to hell, you know? So I can get into more descriptive details on why hell is necessary, and it's important that nobody goes there, but that's a whole nother video. So after Jesus died, he appeared to his disciples again, and they put him in the tomb, and then 3 days later Mary went to go check the tomb, and then after the stone was rolled back, she noticed that there was no body there. Jesus was resurrected, so she went and told people, and then later on the disciples, the apostles, and Mary, they were walking down this road, and then Jesus appeared to them, and they're kind of like, "Whoa, who is this?" And then Jesus told them who he was. He's like, I've risen, basically. And so they went into this upper room after that, and then the Holy Spirit came in the room, and then they all were speaking in tongues, and like the apostles were, and then there was people outside nearby, like kind of like wondering, like, "Whoa, what are they doing? Why are they speaking in different languages?" And they were kind of like, "Whoa." So from then on, Jesus commanded the apostles to go and make disciples, essentially, and to believe in him, and that he's going to come back. So when Jesus went back up to heaven, that's kind of what they did. And then it leads down, and it leads down, and it leads down from the books, from the Gospels. It leads down to eventually Revelation. And in Revelation, it talks about what's going to come and what's going to happen, like today, right now, what's going to end up happening. It could happen, what's going to happen in that book could happen as I live, or it could happen after I live. We don't know the time when Jesus comes back. And it also says that only God knows. Jesus doesn't even know when he's going to come back. So, yeah. But the purpose is, the whole Bible, the purpose of it was salvation and saving us from eternal punishment. And Jesus was the one who saved us from that. So when you look at Christianity, you don't want to think of it as like a set rules. So like religion is the worship of a higher deity. So our religion is Christianity. We believe in worshiping God because he's the higher power. He's the God who created everything. So that's our religion. We don't look at religion like a set of rules, because although God gives us commandments and rules, that doesn't change the fact that if we don't follow them perfectly, we're going to go straight to hell. That's like not what Christianity is. Christianity is based on a relationship and the love of God and who He is and who He says we are. So it's not like, let's, for an example, Islamic belief where like you gotta wear a hijab or whatever you call that black outfit and it's mandatory, or like you gotta say so many prayers a day or something. That's not what Christianity is. It's just simply a relationship with Jesus, and that's the beauty of it, and that's why I follow Jesus, is because of so much truth in the Gospels and the Bible that like just it makes sense in my head, and the Holy Spirit's taught me a lot, you know. And that's another thing too, is like it might seem overwhelming, but as you go on, the Holy Spirit slowly like walks with you and teaches you all these things you need to know. And I just thank God for giving me the opportunity to be forgiven, you know, because I could easily be deceived and be like the rest of the world and just deny it and take my last breath and forever go to hell, you know. And I truly, with all my heart, I believe that I could go to hell forever, and I believe that I could be in heaven forever. So yeah, so now we can talk about the 4 questions. And the 4 questions are origin, meaning, morality, and destiny. So we'll start with the first one. The first one is origin. So the definition of origin is where did something come from? So where did the universe come from? Where did we come from? Where did the animals, the land, the fish, the sea, everything, where did it come from? The answer to that is in the book of Genesis. Meaning, why is this all here? What was the purpose of this? What's the purpose of God? What's the purpose of us? What's the purpose of everything that we do? You can find the answer to that in the book of Genesis and throughout the whole Bible. And the third one is morality. What is considered right and wrong to do? Like, what is is it considered right if I drink this water, or wrong? It's considered right because it's healthy for me. There's benefits, etc. So morality is considered right and wrong, and you get the answer to that in basically the New Testament. And the last one is destiny. What's the future of the universe, and where's everything going to go? Where are we going to go? What's going to happen to this earth and the universe surrounding us? And you can find the answer to that, and I think it's in the book of Revelation is very vivid on that answer, and the whole Bible can teach you that too. So these 4 questions are like the most important questions you can ask in life, and you can find the answer to all of them in the Bible. So, yep. See you later. And this is my second preaching YouTube video.